Oh, okay, let's do this. Hi, my name's Harry Reardon. 28 Years Later is directed by Danny Boyle and wrote by Alex Garland. Now, this film is about a young boy named Spike who, on his birthday, they're just off the mainland, they've got a protected island, and it's on his birthday, a rite of passage is to go out and get your first zombie kill or infected kill. They call them zombies in this. One person does. So they go out, and that's the journey. And now that should have been the plot for this film, because that first half is tense, it's brutal, it's scary, legitimately scary, and so well done. And there's this amazing camera effect, like almost like bullet time, and great, all works. Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Alfie Williams are great in this. Then we get into the second half where Spike has to take one character from A to B. Now, for the most part, this is incredible. Now, what I love is, although this is a legacy sequel, there is no connection, not a spoiler to say, there is no connection to the previous film, barring, obviously, the infected. But they do take the time to set up the world where it would be now. But it also answered questions of mine about what's happening elsewhere and how it's affected not just the mainland, but outside of the United Kingdom, Scotland. And you get this better understanding of how the world's moved on, and then you get brought back into this world, which is terrifying. And you also get to see how the infected have evolved in. Now, it's one thing for to tell you the infected have evolved. This is this, but this film actually does this. It does so well in showing you not only how some have evolved for the worse, but how some have evolved for the better. And they don't do the trope of just telling you something scary and you have to buy it. You buy it. The way they introduce these characters and the way Alfie Williams and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, when they first meet these characters, that should have been everything. Now, I will admit the second half is where I dropped off a little bit. At the beginning, I was like, this is cool. But they also do this thing, and this isn't a spoiler to say, which has always bugged me in films, where if you seem to be any form of authority, police or army, and you've got high-powered assault rifles and you've got tactical gear, and apparently when the situation goes down, you forget your training. And yet, like, everyone else who's never had that is amazing, and it's always bugged me when films do that. Now, visually, this film is stunning. I know we've all seen the picture of everyone's talking about, oh, it's filmed on an iPhone. I don't know too much about cameras, but when you see the iPhone and thousands of pounds worth of equipment around it, it never feels like that. And as a sort of try and watch everything, and I'm a film guy, I'm a massive film lover, I've got no shame in admitting I don't know anything about cameras. For me, if I wasn't told, I wouldn't know the difference. I just know that it does keep that original grainy feeling, which keeps the realism, even when you've got all this evolution and you've got all these extra bits. I wouldn't know the difference, but it still feels like the original in that sense. And I didn't watch too much marketing on this, but obviously you've seen posters and you've seen this and that about. I didn't realise how heavy in spoilers some of those, even just some of the posters were, until I was watching the film and things were happening and I was putting two and two together and going, oh, and I really wish they hadn't have done that. Okay, so I'm going to finish the main review here. If you loved the original, I think you'll like this as a horror, as a discussion on grief and death and life and survival. This film is 100% worth the watch. There's something that happens right at the very end, after the main film, after characters have gone on their journey A to B, and you get to this point, everything between this is amazing. There's a moment right at the very end that has really stuck with me, and not in a good way. There was a character that I knew, there's an actor that I knew was in this film, and I'm getting to a point where I'm thinking, okay, I misread it, maybe he's not. And you know, the film's almost over, it's at that point, everything, and then something happened, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. And then I started to you start to show you bits, and I was thinking, no, not in this. This is weird. Now, it would make sense in a certain context because 28 years ago, this person was outed in the same way we know them today. And then once I put it together, and then I don't want to spoil it, but I didn't like it. I thought it was not only distasteful, I thought it was dumb, and it did not work for me at all. And if anything, it's kind of made me rethink because the first half is perfect. I can't overstate how tense that first half is. Second half, it works for the most part. Should have been the main film, the first half. But that final moment, I think that I'm going to have to mill on this a little bit. I did not like it. And it's really it's left a bad taste after the fact. And I've never had that to this extent with a film that I've been enjoying so much. And it's not just the seeking, because there's a way of doing it that feels fluid and natural, and of story you would go, oh, I want to see where these guys go, but I don't want to see what happens from this. It just, yeah, that's leave it with that. But please let me know if you've seen it. Please let you know what I'm talking about. Let me know what you think of the film as a whole in general. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. It honestly, it means the world to me. And thank you for taking the time to listen to my ramblings. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.